I'm Tracy, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through the settings that you have control over as a teacher using Duolingo for Schools. Please note that the information in this video applies only to the updated version of Duolingo for Schools released in August of 2022. For information about the previous version, please check out our Help Center. Let's get started with some settings that are specific to individual classrooms in your account. Inside of a classroom, you'll see a Settings tab at the top of your dashboard to the right of the Students, Assign, and Reports tabs. Until the end of December, the first thing you'll see on this tab is a banner that allows you to switch back to the original version of Duolingo for Schools. Please note that if you do switch back, it will also switch all of your students back to the original version of the Duolingo home screen. Underneath that banner, you'll find some information, some of which you can edit about your classroom. First, you'll find your classroom code and classroom link. You have the ability to copy these pieces of information. You can send these to students to help them join your classroom. You can also find and edit your classroom name, the languages being taught and the language that your students speak, and the proficiency scale used in your classroom. The proficiency scale can be set to either CEFR or ACTFL, and that will be applied as you look at the content on the Assign tab. You can also download setup instructions, and you can send these to your students, or you can delete your classroom from this page. Remember, every time you change your settings, make sure to click the Save Changes button. Otherwise, your settings will not be applied. And I'm just going to show you what it looks like when you do click Download PDF next to Setup Instructions. You'll get this. It has information for students about joining your classroom from a computer or from a smartphone or tablet. And it does that with a class code or class link. All right. Now we're going to talk about privacy settings. Privacy settings are a little different in that they apply to all of the classrooms associated with your Duolingo for Schools account. You can find these settings on the left-hand side of your dashboard above your profile picture and name. First thing you'll see in the privacy settings are social settings. You can enable or disable discussions. You can enable or disable students' ability to participate in Duolingo events or Duolingo classes. And these are real-life community events held by Duolingo event hosts. You can also enable or disable the ability for students to make or accept friend requests from other Duolingo users. This is also where you can turn on and off classroom leaderboards. If you turn leaderboards on for your classroom, only students in the same class will be able to compete against each other, and it will override public leaderboards. So if you're using classroom leaderboards, your students will no longer see or participate in public leaderboards. Underneath the leaderboard section, you can select the competition start day for each class individually. If you scroll down beneath the leaderboard settings, you'll find content settings. Here you can enable or disable mature content and the Duolingo podcast. Now, Duolingo doesn't include inappropriate content, but we understand that you may not want your students to interact with sentences that include words like beer or wine during school. So if that's the case, you can disable that content from here. And remember, always scroll back up to the top and click Save Changes before leaving this page. Finally, there are some student account settings that you can control from your teacher account. If you go to the Students tab in your classroom dashboard, you'll have a list of the students in your class. If you click on a student, in this example, I've clicked on myself, Tracy, then you go over to the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see a small gear icon next to the student's name and picture. From this menu, you can edit their email address or reset their password to help with their logging in. You can also move the student to another class or remove the student from this class from this menu. That's it for settings. If you have any questions, check out our help center. You can also contact our team from there. And if you download these slides, you can access all of these links that are related to the content from this video. And finally, make sure to join us on Facebook, where you can collaborate with other educators from all over the world and with our team. You can also follow us on social media, and we hope to see you there.